Hi everyone, how have you all been? It's great to see you again. Ignore the fact that we've got a new camera angle going on here. I did this camera angle when I was doing my watch-along of Moana a couple days ago. If you're a YouTube member, just like Elite, who has just become a YouTube member, then you can all watch and gain access to that. But yeah, Elite, it's great to see you again, buddy. Great to see all of you. And Elite, thanks for becoming a YouTube member again. It means whenever we do these live watch-alongs, that you can watch them too. I'm assuming the Moana one is already documented, so if you want to watch it anytime, you can. And I've got time codes there, so if you want to watch it, you'll watch it in sync with myself, basically. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Elite says, when are you going to do watch-along with Loki? I will be doing that. But because we've got some other movies coming up, I'm going to be doing those first, then we'll do the Loki watch-along. There's a couple things which I'm sure you're going to also want to do, have a watch-along with me on, and those things might have something to do with movies that are coming out. Let's just put it that way. That's the only tease I'll give you. Let me just reposition my studio light here. Alright then, so... Oh, happy early birthday, Rohan. It'll be your birthday tomorrow. But happy early birthday. Let's see. Khan, it's great to see you, Khan. Harshly critical, great to see you. Khan, I'm surprised you're actually here. Let's see. He says, great to see you too, Eric, but I unfortunately won't be making it to the whole stream because I have work until 6 PM. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bud. You've been on like every single one of these streams. So, I'm sorry that today you couldn't make it, but man, I'm impressed that you were able to stay like with these streams every single day for as long as you have. Really, congrats to that. Let's see. Jess, great to see you. Jigsaw. I've not seen the How to Train Your Dragon teaser yet. I will be watching that and putting my trailer reaction on Patreon, but I've not seen it yet. Let's see. Harshly Critical, great to see you. Fireboy, New Godzilla X Kong. Selena, Big Bash, Fireboy. Manola, great to see you here. Daniel Flynn, great to see you as well, and thank you very much, Daniel, for the very kind words. Let's see. Trevor, great to see you. I've not seen the first Gladiator after all these years, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, it's absolutely wonderful to see all of you here. The G-Gamers, great to see you as well. Do I see the previous movies of Mad Max or not? I've not seen the Furiosa movie, so I can't help you with that one, buddy. Let's see. Elite says, are you doing a trailer reaction to Sonic 3? And I hope that Paramount go with a darker tone than that the film is going for. I hope so, that they do a darker tone. And am I doing a trailer reaction to Sonic 3? What, have they released a new trailer to Sonic 3? Because I've not been aware. Let's see. Oh, there's a... No, it doesn't look like they've done a new trailer yet because it would have shown up. But there's TV spots that seem to be found. I won't be doing TV spots, only trailers. Yeah, it looks like TV spots and stuff. It's coming on Monday. Oh, it's coming out tomorrow. Then yes, you can definitely bet I will do a Sonic the Hedgehog 3 trailer reaction. So definitely stay tuned for that. Let's see here. Right, it's great to see all of you come down. Raymond, great to see you. And I love when you guys become members because I can see your names highlighted in green in the chat. And you've got an emoji next to them as well. So, yeah, definitely a great thing. It's just so much easier to see your messages on screen. So yeah, Joshman, great to see you too. Says, Eric, how's it going on the Puss in Boots 1 versus the Last Wish versus video? It's going very good, actually. I'm recording the voiceovers in segments right now, so I'm going through the individual segments, and I'm still writing parts like the villain segment and the action segment. I'm still writing that. The villain segment is practically done. The action segment needs work. But yeah, I'm going through it. The story is done. The characters is done. I think I've already done recorded the conclusion. And then yeah, I got the villains and the action segment to do as well. So yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm very pleased with how it's turned out. Great so far. Crazy Cat Lady says, I've been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley new DLC. Oh, that's good. I hope you enjoyed it. There's people that I know that are actually playing that game. So yeah, that sounds like a fun one. Me, I'm playing Ultimate Spider-Man on the GameCube on my Steam Deck using emulation. There is apparently a way of getting the PC version on there, on the Steam Deck, but it's too late. I'm too far into the game. I don't want to have to replay it now, so I'm not going to be doing that. So yeah. Key Wayne Hill, great to see you too. Nate the Great. Hey Eric, new camera angle? Yep, it's a new camera angle. This is the camera angle I did for my Let's Watch of Moana that you can gain access to if you're a YouTube member. And yeah, this is the camera angle I did. I actually thought it worked quite nicely. It was actually a different camera angle, so I thought, why not give it a go? I will say, it is quite bright to look at this monitor of mine, so let me just put a darker color in it. So hopefully it'll be nicer to look at. There you go, that's more comfortable. The Dark Lord says, I was rewatching Season 3 of The Bad Batch. It was just as great as I remembered. Alexa says, ever thought of doing 90s Spider-Man versus Spectacular Spider-Man? That is a very good idea. Would I want to do that? I am not entirely sure. Because TV shows, you guys know how long it takes to do TV shows. They take a long, long time to do. Right now I'm focusing on the other stuff that's coming out, but eventually I'd probably want to consider doing that, maybe. We got Sonic 3 coming out, haven't we? And I've got the Puss in Boots video to do. I've also got ideas for the Let's Watch of Moana that I did. And yeah, there's a lot of plans I've got on the channel. So that's why I've not done any of those yet. But yeah, there are more ideas, and I do want to pursue those. Right now I've got a lot of other videos on my plate, including the patrons who have commissioned videos for me, so I'm going to be doing those as well. Alright, who's ready for these stories? Actually, we've got to wait for a bit more people to come on board, and then we'll get into the stories. So, let's chat with you guys in the meantime. Bryan Cranston as MCU Green Goblin. I bet you... What happens if they use Bryan Cranston as Charles Xavier? Do you think they would do that? He's a bold guy. What do you guys think of Bryan Cranston as Charles Xavier for the MCU's X-Men? What do you think of that? That sounds like it would be interesting to me. You know, Walter White, Bryan Cranston as the MCU's Charles Xavier. Big Bash says, I think that would be cool. You should do a versus video between the live action and animated Super Mario Brothers movies. Yeah, that was originally something I was going to plan on doing, but it unfortunately never materialized. But I do want to do that at some point and complete it. Because I did parts of the script, but I didn't complete it, which is a shame. Elite says, if a person pay you to binge watch Ironheart, what will your reaction be? I would be a little sad. Not like emotionally sad, like I'm going to be scarred. I'd be a little sad that, oh boy, looks like that's what I'll be doing with my time. But if you do it as a commission, I'll be fine. You know, at that point, it's like the fact that I get to give you guys enjoyment, even if it's at my expense, and I get to do it as a living, then that's a good trade-off. It means I do it as a living, I keep the lights on, and also I'm able to entertain you guys and continue doing this as my job, which I really do enjoy. So yeah, I'd happily do it. Sarah, great to see you here. She just popped up, goes, what's up, fellas? Oh, look at that. Dark Lord has given the exact same reaction as I have to Sarah popping up. Daniel Flynn says, also, what do you think of Jason Todd's character? I like Jason Todd, but I don't love the character. He could be very whiny. It depends how they use him, I think. Elite says, a what-if scenario I came up with. Yeah, that's fine. If you did commission that, I would do it. The thing is, people have come up with worse commission ideas than that, and I said I'd do those, so there's no reason I wouldn't do this. Everyone's greeting Sarah. Elite says, like Megamind 2? Yeah, like Megamind 2. Simon Pegg as Magneto in the MCU X-Men. That's what will happen if the MCU want to continue doing jokes. The Dark Lord says, like those crazy versus vids. Oh, I'm glad you like those. I put a lot of work into them, so I'm really glad you enjoy them. I've got another video coming up. It's a talk about Marvel and if they're being truthful about something that they've done recently. So that's the next video that will come out, and I hope you enjoy that when it does. I literally just finished editing it earlier. I just think I've just got to do the ending of the video where, you know, I tell you guys where to go, how to support me, and all, you know, to subscribe and click the like button, all that stuff. Sarah says, who has two thumbs and just auditioned for a lead role in the school play? This gal. Oh, wow. Congratulations, Sarah. Hope it all goes well for you. I really do. Just auditioned. Yeah, I thought I read it wrong there for a second, but no, I read it right. That's good. Oh, well done. Very well done. Big Bash says, I think Edward Norton could be a good lizard. I guess he could, maybe as a Dr. Connors, but it'll be a bit distracting after he was Dr. Banner, ain't it? Elite said, I heard a rumor from Daniel RPK. Oh, where did that rumor go? I was just reading that. The Crazy Gamer says, have you seen the Minecraft trailer? I've seen the first one, I've not seen the second one. I'm not going to see the second one either, because I have not played Minecraft. I don't really know what else to say about it. It looks kind of tacky to me, to be honest with you. So yeah, I've not seen it beyond what I've already seen in the first trailer. Oh, that's okay, Elite. I'll wait for you to spell it right. Daniel Flynn says, which show do you prefer currently, Daredevil or the Penguin? Well, if you talk about Daredevil Season 1 or Daredevil Season 2, I will say the Penguin. If you're talking Daredevil Season 3, I would say Daredevil Season 3. Gary Loke says, how would you rank the Robins? Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damian. Let's see, how would you rank the Robins? Dick, Jason, Tim... I would say Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason Todd, and Damian Wayne. I don't like Damian Wayne, at least from what I've seen of him in the animated movies. Okay, this is what Elite was saying. I heard a rumor that Daniel RPK saying that Marvel is fast-tracking to end the multiverse saga. I heard that too. And it seems that they want to, get to the... They want to put a lot of stuff on hold, like Doctor Strange 3 and a bunch of other movies. They want to put them on hold until we get to Secret Wars, apparently. So, yeah. Sarah says, hey, Eric, I'm thinking about watching a movie, but I don't know which one. Any recommendations? Yeah, there's a movie called The Hunt, which my family watched on Netflix recently. I'd suggest giving that a watch. That is actually a fun movie. Jess has given the first super chat of the day. Let's see what that is. A $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Jess. I really appreciate it. Says, Eric, use StreamYard. It's an app where you can video chat and read the live chat at the same time. And then he says, if Daredevil screws up, I'm done. And just with DC. Yeah, they better not screw up Daredevil. I've kept saying it. They better not screw it up. As for StreamYard, yeah, sure, in the future I could do that. But right now we're fine with the setup that we have. Because I can chat with you guys right now and read the live chat as well, so I don't need StreamYard or another software for that. Big Bash says, Eric, do you think time travel should have not been in Endgame, considering how it caused the multiverse to be the main focus after Thanos? No, because there's nothing wrong with the multiverse if you know how to use it, but Marvel don't know how to use it, and they've been using it for convenience and for all these lazy ways out of bad storytelling. So, yeah, it's just bad on their part, really, I think. Are you going to watch Wicked, says Crazy Cat Lady? I'm probably not. I was thinking of doing another review for you guys in my car in that format, but because it's been a while since I've done one. Smile 2, I think, was the last one. But unfortunately, I'm just too busy with these other videos I'm editing. I don't have time for that. I will be covering Moana, so I'm planning to, free up time for that. But in the meantime, I've got to work on all these other things, so I haven't got time for that. But I have been working on other videos to give you instead of a review like that. But hey, if you guys really want me to review Wicked, then let me know. If I get enough people saying it, then I'll probably do it. Let's see. Where is the other question that I got there? I just missed it. Eric, did you watch Wild Robot? Sarah, I actually still haven't seen it yet. Like I said, extremely busy. I do want to see it. The most recent thing I watched was literally the finale of The Penguin, so that tells you how much I'm busy. I only had time to watch The Penguin, not anything else really. Which is a shame, because I want to watch Cobra Kai, the recent season. I also want to watch Arcane Season 2, and there's also something else that's come out that I've kind of forgotten. What was it? Something recent. But there's that I want to watch too, as well as these movies like The Wild Robot and stuff. Yes, Khan, I did see the Moana live-action leaked photos. They don't look particularly good. So yeah. You're gonna do a versus on Moana 1 versus Moana 2? Yes, Josh, man, that's the plan. So that's why I gotta get these other videos done that I'm working on. The Batman or Oppenheimer? The Batman. Of course, I love Oppenheimer, but I love the Batman. Alright then. I've not seen the Knuckles series, Dead Wolf. Alright then, it's time to move on to our stories. So, let's get to it. Now, Marvel. We all know about Marvel. Give me a second here. Whoops-a-daisy. Hold on a second. Ooh, look at that. I made a little bit of a mistake, I think. Did I? Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, that's all in order. My notes are the ones that are not in order. That's the mistake. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Let's go right back. Okay, here we go. Alright then, so, Marvel. We all know that Marvel is in... Actually, before I do, I should say this again. You guys all know the rules. If you want to ask me any questions while I'm telling the stories, then you have to do it through Super Chat or through Streamlabs chat. And by doing that, I will answer your questions immediately. But the normal chat, I'll glance at it, but I'm not going to read it, because I am very busy with having to tell these stories. So if you want me to hear... So in order to maintain my focus on the stories, I can't glance at the chat. You'll have to do a Super Chat or a Streamlabs chat. Although I have glanced at this. Sarah, please do, if you have time, come back for the Q&A at the very least. And we can all chat there, so... yeah, but thanks very much, Sarah, for dropping by. I hope you still continue to drop by, too. Okay, then, so... Let's go. So... It turns out that some rumors and some news have come... Well, it was rumors first, and now we actually got it from Kevin Feige himself. Essentially, Kevin Feige has said that he wants Hugh Jackman to continue playing Wolverine in the MCU even after Avengers Secret Wars. Now, for those of you who don't know, it was actually said that Hugh Jackman's Wolverine would make a couple of appearances, but then after Secret Wars, it was said that Kevin Feige was going to bring in his own MCU X-Men. But it's interesting now that he's saying that Hugh Jackman, he wants him to stay even after Avengers Secret Wars, because that basically means that he does not have confidence in his own X-Men, maybe. And he's like, you know what, we got to keep that nostalgia in. So what they're doing is saying that, yeah, we're going to keep Hugh Jackman in, even though they said before that they were going to try to, like, move into the newer characters. Turns out they don't have faith in it, they're scared, and that's why they're playing it safe. And Marvel have made a lot of playing it safe moves lately, from casting Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, and with saying that we're going to keep a lot of Deadpool or Wolverine in the MCU a lot. They've clearly gotten scared, and they think the only way people are going to come and watch these movies is if you put them into it. Characters they've had nothing to do with. So, yeah, that movie has got nothing to do with the success of Kevin Feige, Deadpool Wolverine, and it's all to do with Fox, and he wants to basically take the Fox characters to bring people in to watch his, you know, his own universe. Because all the other characters that they've done post-Endgame that the MCU have established, no one cares about them. So that's why Feige now is trying to say, we'll bring in those other characters and we'll have them come in. So that's why he's saying Hugh Jackman's going to come back as Wolverine. He wants him to be in there a lot. He wants Deadpool to be in there a lot. There's also been news that he's going to be bringing in the Defenders. So we know he's bringing in Daredevil, but he also wants to bring in Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. And in the Daredevil show, they're going to make all of the Netflix Marvel shows canon. Before, when Marvel were up their own ass and they were acting so cocky when they thought they were still top dog, they were saying that, yeah, we're not going to be keeping the Netflix characters, we're going to be rebooting them, and they were going to be PG-13 and all that crap. But because now they are scared shitless over all of this, thus they know they can't win with their own interpretations of these characters, they're saying, alright, what we'll do is we'll take the Netflix characters and we'll make them the Netflix characters. We'll make them canon, the Netflix show. Even though before they were trying to say that's not canon, but now they are. So it goes to show that they don't... It's like you can clearly tell that they don't have any good characters of their own to attract you, so that's why they're trying to bring in other characters and saying that, no, those are those actual characters. So yeah, it's clearly they are terrified. Feige is terrified, and yeah, he wants to bring in the A-team, or I would say the best team, because they don't have any other better characters than this. So yeah, that's what's basically is what's going on right here. is they want to keep what's working and try to ignore what's not, or force it down your throats what's not working. Because they're still going to be trying to bring in more characters here for you to start watching. You know, like, they're still going to be bringing in Wonder Man and Ironheart and, you know, all that stuff. They're still going to be doing all of that. So yeah, basically, that's what it is. Marvel are desperate. They're still going to be bringing in Hugh Jackman. Even though they said they were going to bring him in less, they're going to now bring him in even more because he's the only one making money. Him and Deadpool, two characters that have nothing to do with the MCU, are making a ton of money. But Marvel's own characters are not anymore. So that's basically the predicament they found themselves in, and that is why they are forcing this whole little setup here, essentially. So yeah, that is what is going on. So what do you guys think of this? Did you hear that the Jonathan Majors charges were dropped? Were they? I didn't know that they were dropped. Interesting. When did they get dropped? Hope Hugh and Ryan say no. Yeah, I hope they have. I think they know they have more creative control here. So they'll most likely say that they want to make the movies they want to make. They're not going to enter a movie if it's crap, most likely. At least I hope so. And hopefully they'll be able to maintain the dignity of their characters, I hope. Rohan says, Hugh Jackman, I don't mind him coming back to the Secret Wars movie because Secret Wars is a huge, big multiverse movie with tons of characters in it. Fireboy says, just like Deadpool said, they're gonna make him till he's 90. Yeah, that's the joke I was actually gonna make on my thumbnail for this live stream, but then I didn't do it in the end. But originally I was like, yeah, maybe I should put that in. Fire Kevin Feige and bring the Russo brothers to ruin Marvel, says Elite. I think the Russo brothers can do better with Marvel. It seems clearly that's where they excelled in terms of storytelling. All these other stories they're trying to tell, they clearly don't really know what they're doing. So, yeah, I think to run Marvel, you meant, there you go, Elite. Doing a lot of typos today, aren't you? Type slower, take your time, don't feel the need to rush. I've done that before. But yeah, they need to run Marvel. They would do a far better job than Kevin Feige, that's for sure. Jess says, keep Majors out because Doctor Doom is the next Thanos. That's something I'm surprised by. Why on earth did they try to bring Jonathan Majors in for Avengers Secret Wars when Secret Wars has everything to do with Doctor Doom? That is actually a really frustrating thing, is why were Marvel wasting time on Kang when they could have spent that time setting up Doctor Doom to be in Secret Wars? It just really makes you think, what on earth are Marvel and Kevin Feige doing? The right choices are right in front of their faces, but for some reason they just don't want to follow the right choices. They want to follow the stupid choices. So instead they try to do a lot of this other stuff, and it's, as we've seen, the other stuff, namely Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania, is just not working. And yeah, if you take the controversy of Jonathan Majors out of the whole Kang situation, it's still a very poorly developed character that did not capture the audience by storm. Mainstream audiences didn't care. Yeah, sure, he might be a little bit more intimidating than the other stock Marvel villains, but at the end of the day, he was a stock Marvel villain that got taken out by Ant-Man. So it's ridiculous that they thought they were actually going to strike gold with him when their writing did not support the level of villainy that he was supposed to encompass. So yeah, it is absolutely ridiculous what Marvel have done with Kang. It really, really is. Complete wasted opportunity. And yeah, it's just sad that they've wasted such great potential with a character here. The G-Gamer says they should have went with the original ending with Ant-Man 3. The original ending of Ant-Man 3 had something to do with Scott still being in that whole dimension, that miniverse, microverse dimension, whatever the heck it was, I don't care anymore. He was still trapped in that dimension with Jonathan Majors Kang, and there was supposed to be a cliffhanger that that the characters had to go back in and rescue him in a future movie. But it turns out, again, that did not happen. That's not how it worked out. And yeah, it's just Marvel doing the stupid stuff that Marvel do at the end of the day. Deadwall says, I would love to see the original ending to Ant-Man 3 or a director's cut. I think Ant-Man 3 is a broken movie. It doesn't matter if you did get a director's cut or an extended cut. Whatever it is, I think Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was just kind of a broken movie from the beginning, because like with a lot of these Marvel projects, the scripts are not to the level that they should be, and that is a big reason as to why a lot of them are failing. Even other movies that they're making right now, like Thunderbolts went through reshoots and rewrites. It went through many rewrites. The same with Captain America Brave New World. It went through even a title change from Captain America New World Order to Brave New World. And then many rewrites are going on, even reshoots are going on right now. So yeah, just a ton of wasted potential, wasted time, and bad work etiquettes from Marvel. Seriously, that's the reason why their movies are so poorly written. They don't write them well, they don't seem to care about quality control, they just want to get it out there as quick as they can so they can fill a content quota. Both for their movies and for Disney+. Alright then. Yeah, I agree. Hard reboot sounds like it would be great. Alright then, time to move on to the next story, which is Christopher Nolan. It's interesting how many times we're getting so much new news about Christopher Nolan's new movie and how much... It's like he's going through at rapid pace about the casting for his movie. Christopher Nolan said that he does not think about who he wants to cast as he's writing the characters for his films, because he says that it gets in the way of the writing process. But thing is, I feel like he must have some idea who he wants, because he's going through all these actors, so he's hiring them all so quickly for this particular movie. And the next person that we have on this list that he's hiring is Batman himself, Robert Pattinson. So Christopher Nolan wants to hire Robert Pattinson, and he wants him to come in to play, of course, a character in his movie. But it does seem like the character is not going to be like one of the main characters, because if we go over to the people that he's cast so far, you can see there's Tom Holland, Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, and now, of course, we also have Robert Pattinson. From what I've heard, Robert Pattinson is not going to have a huge role in the movie. Nolan likes to, even smaller roles, he casts big actors. And I think Robert Pattinson, kind of sadly, is going to be one of those. Now, it is a huge relief that Robert Pattinson is not going to play a big role in this Christopher Nolan movie. The reason why is because it actually brought a potential problem to the Batman Part 2. Because the Batman Part 2 is going to start shooting somewhere in like the first half of 2025. And it's going to release in 2026 in October. When we heard this news, a lot of people were concerned because they were like, what does that mean for the Batman movie? Are they going to have to delay that movie again? Because originally the Batman Part 2 was meant to come out in October of 2025, but then got moved to October of 2026. But now with Robert Pattinson being cast again for another Christopher Nolan movie, does that mean that they're going to have to delay the Batman Part 2 again this time? Thankfully, no. I actually read up, and there was an article that came up where it actually said that no one has to worry about that. That Robert Pattinson is only going to be having a smaller role in the film, or a shorter role, and his scenes will be shot within an appropriate amount of time so he can go over and shoot the Batman Part 2. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem for him. And I'm very glad to hear that, because the last thing we want at this point is another delay for the Batman Part 2. It is already too far away and too far delayed. So to have it delayed again is just unacceptable. So I'm glad that that's not impacted his role. Tom Holland, Zendaya, and Robert Pattinson are not going to have their movies get impacted by this. So Spider-Man is still going to get shot, and so is the Batman Part 2. They're still going to be shooting those, and they should still stay on schedule. So that's a relief. We don't have to worry about that. So what do you guys think then? Is that something that you're looking forward to? Be sure to let me know. Big Bash says, Christopher Nolan is a great director, so I can't wait to see how he pushes Tom into doing something different. Yeah, I hope so too. I've long said on this channel that Tom Holland is a great actor, but he's not been given any of the roles to really prove it, except for that one movie on Netflix, The Devil All the Time or something, which Robert Pattinson was also in with him. He did a great job with his performance there, But a lot of these other movies, they'll have trying to make him play Spider-Man again. They're trying to appeal to the thirsty teenage girls with Tom Holland, essentially. And Nolan can move away from that. Look what he did to Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer, for example. Trevor Bistro says, the Batman 2 and the new Nolan movies are up there in my most anticipated movies of 2026. Yeah, I would say so. Let me think. Is there anything else coming out in 2026? I agree with you there, Jess, about Mark Wahlberg. Let's see, 2026 movies, because I feel like there are more coming out that I'm just not thinking of. Oh yeah, we're getting Avengers Doomsday that year as well, aren't we? It's the Russo brothers, so I'm more excited for it than any of the other MCU projects, but I still have big question marks on that film, to be honest. Because the build-up, the lead into it, has not been good, unlike the previous phases. The Dark Lord says, so we're doomed. Nice pun, if the pun is in fact what you were intending there, Dark Lord. Elite says, I'm more interested to see what Nolan will do with this film. Yeah, I'm interested. The Batman 2 and the new Nolan movies are up there in my most anticipated... Actually, I've read that already. Steven Spielberg's new UFO movie is also coming in 2026. Yeah, I read that. Is it Emily Blunt is going to be in that movie as well, I think I heard. They said it was going to be like a mystery movie at first, and then there were rumors coming in that it's a UFO movie. Elite says, Marvel may have their own Doomsday in the future if the film fails. Yeah, very true. They very much could. But yeah, I will say, this is a very good-looking cast, this is. A very good-looking cast. I don't mean just because they hired good-looking actors. I mean, this is a good cast list right here. I am surprised, though, that Robert Pattinson is still more to the end. Robert Pattinson, to me, is someone that should have been the main lead in Tenet. Because I think that John David Washington didn't do a good job. He was just so boring, didn't have any charisma. Robert Pattinson's character, though, did have a lot of charisma. And that's because Robert Pattinson is a great actor. And I think he should have been the main character in that film. And yeah, to me, Robert Pattinson is kind of like what Cillian Murphy was, where Nolan kept hiring him. But it's like you're waiting for him to essentially give him a lead role, and then he gave him the lead role in Oppenheimer. I'm hoping the same thing for Robert Pattinson. I hope Robert Pattinson gets a lead role in a Christopher Nolan movie eventually. Charleston, great to see you, buddy. He says, I've just joined. What stories have I missed? You've missed the Hugh Jackman, Marvel wanting him to play Wolverine after Secret Wars, even though they said that after Secret Wars they were going to bring in their own X-Men and their own Wolverine. Turns out now they want to keep him in even after Secret Wars, so that should tell you something, that they're panicking. And then I just moved on to this story about Christopher Nolan casting Robert Pattinson and what it could mean for the Batman Part 2, and if the release for the Batman Part 2 could get delayed as a result of this. And thankfully it's not, so that's a relief. Jess says, Eric, watch the new 28 Years Later horror movie, please. Put it on your list. I've still not seen the first two movies. I've heard the first one's very good, and the second one was not good. Let me see. Oh, Trevor Vistra, I was right. Thanks for confirming that. I was wondering if that was the movie I heard that she was going to be in. Let's see. Sorry, Nate. That is something where you need a membership to know what I thought of it, because otherwise I'm depriving value from the people that did pay to become YouTube members. So I'm not going to be able to give you that answer for a while. Let me see. 28 years later. Oh, that's coming out in 2025. In June. That's about 10 days after my birthday. Whoa. I'll be 30 by then. Darn. Scary to think about. I want a comic-accurate short Wolverine, says Big Bash. I don't really care for short Wolverine. I like the idea of him being tall like Hugh Jackman, personally. Makes him more intimidating, I think. Or we even had Henry Cavill as the Cavalrine, and he looked very good as well, and he was also tall. Nate, I've already answered your question about regarding the membership. Alright then, so let's move on to the next story. Oh boy, Across the Spider-Verse. Now, the interesting thing about Across the Spider-Verse is that there's a rumor going around lately that Sony have scrapped Beyond the Spider-Verse footage and had the entire script rewritten. And this rumor has gotten everyone concerned for the obvious reason. I'll get into it in a bit. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is, first of all, this is a rumor. But a lot of people have been asking me about this on Instagram and even Patreon. People have been contacting me and saying, what do I think of this? Is Sony taking control of the good Spider-Man projects now that they've messed up the supervillain, spin-offs where the villains are heroes? And for me, I'll say, take it easy. This is just a rumor. We don't know for sure if this is real. I mean, for all we know, it's maybe Lord and Miller who changed it, the guys who are behind the first two films. Because if you look at how long it took them to make Across the Spider-Verse, it took them like about 5 years. And like I said, I think the movie is not going to release, the third one, is not going to release until 2028. Which is when the third Spider-Man 3 game will most likely release. Because the Spider-Verse films have released like neck and neck with the Spider-Man 1 PS4 game, the Spider-Man 2 PS5 game, and then I'm sure when the third game comes out, it'll be 2028, and I think that is when they're going to release Beyond the Spider-Verse. So things are crazy because it takes a long time to do that kind of animation. So that's why things are really quite insane. Elite says, or 2027. It could be, but I think it'll be 2028, I think. Especially if the rumor is true and they had to rewrite the entire script, it means they haven't even started the animation yet, I don't think. So that's what I would say. However, it's not out of character for Sony to do this. With Kraven coming up, they have to focus their attention on something, so... Because when Kraven is coming up, that means they're done with these supervillain spin-offs, at least for now. And they're going to have to focus their attention on something, so what else is there for them to focus their attention on? It'll probably be the Spider-Verse film. So they're most likely going to be looking at the Spider-Verse films thinking that, you know what, that's where all the money is being made now, not in these live-action spin-offs we've done, so that needs our attention now. Because before they ignored Spider-Verse, they thought, it's just animation, who cares about that? That's not where the money is. But now, out of all their franchises, that is where the money is. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that they would think, how about we jump onto that now and start micromanaging all of that? So, yeah, it's not out of the realms of possibility that they would be doing that. Because the Spider-Verse movies made more money than the spin-off Marvel villain movies. Venom 3 is doing pretty good box office numbers at the international box office, not the domestic box office, but the international box office. But it's still a far cry from the box office performance of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Whenever something is making money, Sony crawls towards that. And they are so deluded that they think that it needs their guidance. So it's not out of the realms, like I said, it's not out of the realms of possibility that they would do that. But that being said, it's not confirmed. None of the trades are talking about this. It is just a rumor. And that's what it could end up just being, a rumor. So I would say, take it easy on that rumor for now. I wouldn't put much stock into it, but the reason I'm covering it in this video is because a lot of you have been asking me about that. But yes, it would be a rotten, dirty shame if Sony came in and started putting their fingers into that project. Especially because with animation, it's so much more messy to mess with animation and stuff. The rumor is also that Sony are not sure about the ending. That's because the ending could just close off this whole trilogy. That's what Lord and Miller could say it is. It's just a trilogy that they want to end right at this third film. But if it's doing incredibly well, Sony might want it to continue, which is probably where the rumor is coming from, that they're not sure about the ending. So we'll have to see what happens. Yes, Jess, Avi Arad does suck. I totally agree. Good time, says Sonic 3 trailer on Monday. Let's go. Yep, we talked about that earlier. I will be doing a trailer reaction, so be sure to follow me in either Patreon or YouTube memberships. And we'll all have our trailer reaction together. Hopefully it'll be a bit of a darker trailer. That's what I hope. Trevor says, Scream 7 is adding the actress Isabel May as Sydney's daughter. Yeah, I heard about that. You know what? That's a movie that I normally would have been excited about, because it's got Sydney in there as the main character. But to do with how Paramount treated the situation, it was not Paramount. What was the company that Dimension was it? Dimension Films? That's the Weinsteins, isn't it? Whatever studio was working on that. What was the studio called? Can you guys tell me? It was a while. It wasn't Paramount. Spyglass. Thank you very much, Elite. Spyglass. Because of what Spyglass did when they fired Melissa Barrera for the stupid reason they did, I don't feel good watching this movie in a normal way. So when this movie comes out, I'm going to save a free ticket or something. I'm not going to spend any money on it. And I'll watch it and review it for you guys that way. But yeah, I'm not focusing on that movie. I'm not going to spend my own money on that movie. I'm going to use a free ticket or something so they get none of my movie. Sorry, none of my money. And also, the fact they killed off Dewey in the stupid way they did, it means that I'm less interested to see the movie out as well. Because to me, they were the trio. It was Dewey, Sidney, and Gale. The two favourite characters of those three, though, is Sidney and Dewey. They've got a history. But Gale was always the outsider who was older than all of them and was a reporter, whilst those guys were all, like, at school age, essentially. And they were all linked that way as friends. So for Gale to still be there makes no sense to me whatsoever, and for her to survive as much as she has. So I would have preferred it if Dewey and Sidney were in the movie, but the fact they're not is a huge problem to me. I hope that... Big Bastards, didn't they fire Melissa Barrera over Palestine? Yeah, they did. And she wasn't even saying anything controversial. She was being good to both sides when she mentioned that message. And they were like, you're being good to both sides? Yeah, that's offensive. There you go, Spyglass. Tell me if that's offensive. I hope they suffer for this. I really do. And you can bet I'm going to try to cover that once it comes. So yeah. Elite says it shows how Hollywood is. Yeah, it does. Sonic says, I despise Joker too. Okay, bye. Okay, take care, Sonic. Joey Nicol says, if Sony screws up Beyond the Spider-Verse, I'm officially done. Disney needs to buy Sony. Here's the thing, Disney does not need to buy Sony because they're going to also screw shit up. So no, I would disagree with that. There's a point where people said that Disney, they're acquiring Lucasfilm, they're acquiring Pixar, they're acquiring all these projects, like all these companies. People were like, the next thing they're going to do is acquire DC. But the thing is, they can't even maintain... They acquired Fox as well, didn't they? The thing is, they can't even maintain their own MCU, let alone the Fox characters, which they haven't even taken advantage of after all this time. Not properly in their own way. So, the thing is, they can't even handle those. What makes them think they can handle DC now? They're going to screw that up as well. So, yeah. Yeah, let's just hope they don't. Because they're screwed up a lot. They need to earn people's trust back. Disney wouldn't have effed up DC if they buy them. What do you mean Disney wouldn't have effed up DC if they buy them? Because if Disney buy DC, they would F them up. Like, because they're effing up Marvel. That's clearly too much for them. They can't even do Disney right, Pixar right. They can't even do Lucasfilm right. They can't do Marvel right. The Fox universe stuff, they've barely touched on because it's like they clearly... took them a long time because they clearly thought they weren't going to do a good job with it, so they were like having to take longer and do more rewrites and all that. We'll see how they do. But yeah, it's taken them so long. But yeah, Disney are going through their own financial problems right now, so there's no... I don't think that they are going to, like, win in this scenario, personally. So yeah. Joey says, the only downside to Disney owning Sony is that they will own PlayStation and screw that up. Honestly, bud, I would normally agree with you, but I think Sony have been screwing the PlayStation up themselves. Do you know that I do not own a PlayStation 5? In fact, Black Friday is on, and you can get a PS5 at a pretty reasonable price now. And I was like, you know what? I actually could purchase a PS5 at this price, but I haven't. Because two things. One, I don't have time to play my games on a monitor no more. You know, I feel like I need to move around back and forth. So for me, the Steam Deck is great. You can see the Steam Deck is right behind me. How do I do this? It just feels like it's reverse here. Okay, here, let's try this out. There we go. There's my Steam Deck right there. The Steam Deck is so great. And I play everything on it portably, and if I want to play on the monitor, I can then attach it and play it on the monitor. Thing is, I'm way too busy to be playing games on the monitor, so I can't really, and I don't like to, it's, because I'm working so much now on on this monitor, it doesn't feel fun to play your games on the monitor, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I would want to like carry it around in a portable form factor, and to feel like I'm stuck on the monitor to play these games is not a good thing. The games are overpriced as well, and now that I've been playing by buying games on Steam, I've really been enjoying how cheap games are on Steam. And on consoles, in comparison, they're so expensive. So yeah, the PS5 to me is pointless. The PS5 Pro especially is pointless because it's not giving much of an advantage to the games that have come out for it. And apparently some games are really glitching out because of it too. So yeah, Sony, I think they've screwed up the PlayStation themselves, and the games are taking so long to come. So it's like, what's the point here? Really, there is no point here. Hui Tumo says, what are your thoughts on the controversy over the casting of Astrid in the live-action How to Train Your Dragon remake? I can understand why, because she doesn't look anything like the Astrid from the cartoon, and that's the whole point when you translate stuff into live-action. People want to see the animated stuff as closely represented in live-action as possible, but they deliberately went a different way. Now, I don't mind the colour of the actress's skin very much, because I think she does look bright enough. You know, they didn't go... I think she's half black, is what she's supposed to be. So I don't mind that very much, but what I do mind is that they've not given her the blonde hair. And they could have done a better job in finding someone that looks like Astrid. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what people want to see. The whole point you're banking on a live-action remake is that you want to milk people's nostalgia. Their nostalgia is the designs and the look and the style of the first original animated How to Train Your Dragon. So then what you need to do is try to replicate those animated characters and find their closest lookalikes in live action. But they didn't do that. They ended up going for someone. They played the diverse card, basically, and they went for someone else. And I think that's where the problem is. That's where people don't like it. They wanted someone who looked just like Astrid. But they didn't do that. And therefore, you know, people are disappointed now. And you know, I feel like they do it on purpose now. They cast someone who's of a different ethnicity or colour just so they can hide behind their race when people are inevitably going to be disappointed. So I'm done with hearing, oh, racist fans and all that. It's a setup. They clearly do this on purpose. I think the Hiccup actor they got, from what I've seen, he looks very good, I think. Hui Tunmore says, on another note, I'm curious to see Idris Elba playing Man-at-Arms in the upcoming He-Man movie. Yeah, that sounds interesting. I show up from time to time, says Warping Fist. Yeah, it's great to see you, Warping Fist. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, I agree. The live-action How to Train a Dragon movie shouldn't exist. FNA for F-Boy? Yes, I am. You bet I'm going to do a trailer reaction to Sonic 3 tomorrow. Elite, I agree with that's why you have a PS5, because it made it easier to play games without a lower FPS. So I totally understand that. For me, though, the games are taking too long to release, and I owned a PlayStation 4 where they were slow to release at the start, but then once they started releasing, they did not stop releasing. Like, people would put 2 or 3 PlayStation exclusives in their top 10 best games of the year list. That's how much great games they were making at the time. But, you know, now, it's like, where are the exclusives? We had Spider-Man 2, but there was no DLC that came with it, like it came with the first Spider-Man game. We're still waiting on the Venom game. We're still also waiting on the Wolverine game. And all these other games they're planning to do is just taking them so freaking long. So yeah, it's really a problem. So back to the original point. If Disney bought out Sony, that would make you one of you said that would make you scared for PlayStation. I think Sony are already screwing up with the PlayStation. Not to mention the fact that they're bringing stupid politics into their own games that never existed before. So we've got problems with the Spider-Man 2 game and the controversies that came out of that, which I do agree with, the majority of them. And then we also have rumors that they're trying to make Jean Grey in the Wolverine game look like she's not even a woman, basically. And it's like they're trying to say that if you even look like a woman, if you look feminine, if you even look like a woman, even that's offensive now. So we gotta change that, make you look less like a woman. It's ridiculous. So Sony are already going down a very dark path themselves, and I think they are also going to fail, truth be told. for that. They're going to see the failure in their sales. And I can tell you that's the truth, because when I'm playing on my Steam Deck, I was looking through older games that I never got to play. I've been looking at those and I was thinking, you know what? I think those games are actually going to be better for me to get and play than the games that are coming out now, modern games. They run perfectly on my Steam Deck on older hardware. They give you great battery life on older hardware. You can max the graphics out to the max settings and get the full frame rate. On my Steam Deck, it's 90 frames per second. 60 to 90 frames. And they also are dirt cheap. I was looking around for the BioShock collection because I've never played the BioShock games. And you can get all 3 BioWare games, BioShock 1, BioShock 2, BioShock Infinite, as well as the DLC packs for BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite. That's like 5 pieces of content for £6. That's £2 for each game, and in the end, essentially, you've got the free DLC packs thrown in there. Although, if you want to really divide how much those cost, you can, and you can actually get more value out of it. Compare that to a game that costs $70 nowadays. And a lot of that content will be sold back to you through season passes. There is just no competition anymore. There really isn't. People might as well just play the games by getting older games, and then eventually, while they're playing the older games, the newer games that come out will just get cheaper. And then you can play those afterwards at your own leisure at a much cheaper price, with all the glitches ironed out and all the content bundled in with a Game of the Year edition. That's basically what you can do, and you don't have to spend as much crazy money as the MCU... you don't have to spend as much crazy money as game companies want you to spend when a game launches. And you don't even have to get a super expensive PlayStation 5 or something. Just use your Steam Deck or whatever other gaming PC you have. Because you can play them at very good frame rates for very cheap prices these days compared to, what they normally would cost. Because with PC, you can pay a decent amount of money, $400 or $500 maybe, and get a good system that plays all those games, and the games can be like just a couple dollars after that. So it is far better, I think, in the method that I mentioned to play these games than the way that they want you to play games nowadays. Alright, Q&A time, guys. Yes, Elite, just like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. In fact, do you know that Gotham Knights, that crappy Gotham Knights game, that game I found about a month ago for just £2. For you guys, that's literally about $2. There's not really much in it for, the currency difference, because that price is so low, and I still didn't get that game. I was like, okay, now it's like, yeah, it would be a steal for the price, but it would also be a steal on my time, and that'll be time I won't get back. I'd rather spend that time replaying the Arkham games, the good games. So I didn't even get that for £2. Which is, the only thing better than that is £1, and the only thing better than that is free. And I wouldn't even do that. Because I think it would just not look good with my collection. I'd be ashamed to have it in my collection, so yeah. Eric, what are your thoughts on the How to Train Your Dragon live-action trailer, says Movie Fan? I got my trailer reaction coming up. I've not done it yet. I've not seen the trailer reaction yet. I've not even made the video yet. I'm waiting to actually do that for you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna record that and then show it to you guys afterwards. I'll probably record it tomorrow, maybe. You plan to see Wicked or Gladiator 2 or neither? To be honest, G-Gamer, neither. I don't care about either. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but I guess I did. I will be watching the movies only if you want me to. Like, if I get enough requests, then I'll probably go watch it and do a review in my car or something like that. But yeah, I'm in no rush to go see the movie, personally. Crazy Cat Lady said, I played Gotham Knights, but only the Barbara Gordon when I didn't really like it that much. Yeah, it looks like a boring game. It really does. So I thought it looked boring before they even released it. And yeah, I did not even play it, and I'm happy I didn't play it. Oh, the Logman says, I still haven't finished it. Yeah, that's in stark contrast to the Arkham games, which I've finished all of them, like, several times. And then you have these other games that I don't even want to play once. That's the shame about the PS5 as well. The PS5 is that we haven't got good third-party support. A lot of the third-party games that usually would be good, like games from Rocksteady or Warner Brothers Montreal, those games are not good either. Because those games are not good either, it's given you less sort of like a selection to play. So you're not getting the first-party titles from Sony because they're taking so bloody long to release, and you're not getting the third-party titles because they're just bad. They're trying to have a lot of predatory like microtransactions and loot boxes and all that kind of stuff that they're not prioritizing the gameplay, and therefore the gameplay is just not good enough to where you're like, yeah, that looks boring, I'm not going to buy that. And then you've just got the PS5 sitting in your setup collecting dust with no games to play. So yeah. The Movie King, I have seen the controversy on the actor playing Astrid from the live-action How to Train Your Dragon. And you're saying it's so stupid because they're talking about how it's historically inaccurate, even though it's a fictional movie. Here's the thing: a lot of people feel like they have to jump to it's historically inaccurate, because when people say I don't like they race change the character, people instantly call them out as racists. They've done that to me too. So I've said that, like time and time again, that when people say it's not historically accurate, that's something that they feel like they have to say because otherwise they're just like trapped in a wall being called racists. So they have to come up with another argument, and they use the historical accuracy. The thing is, and I've said this myself, it's got nothing to do with historical accuracy, it's got to do with the accuracy towards the original. The original Astrid was a white girl with blonde hair. That's what people want to see represented in live action. That should be simple to understand, but you get these crazy people out there who just say, oh, if you want a white person to play the character, it means you're racist. Couldn't it just mean you want the character to look just like the same one from the live action, from the animated version? That's what it should mean, but unfortunately, people try to twist your words and say, oh, because the reason you want it to look like that animated one is because you're a racist, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Agree, Logman, it's the same with gender bends. So people say historically accurate, they have to, because idiots out there try to, like, say, trap them and, like, say that, no, you are a racist, unless you say something, and then you feel like you have to say something else to back your point up, and that's where they come up with historical accuracy. It's got nothing to do with historical accuracy. It's perfectly fine to say that you don't want a black person playing a role, and you want the character to be played by a white person like the animated version. That's perfectly fine to say. Likewise, perfectly fine to say you don't want a white person to play a character that was black in its original... You don't want a white person to play a character that's black in its original version. Like, you don't want a white person playing Blade. There's nothing wrong with saying that, and there's nothing wrong with saying that you don't want a black person playing Astrid. That's perfectly fine. Big Bash says, I went to see a white-haired redhead. I went to see a white redhead Mary Jane, not Zendaya. Again, that's perfectly fine if you say that. I don't mind this new version. I don't think this is MJ whatsoever. I think this is a completely different character that they've, created. It's got nothing to do with Mary Jane whatsoever, I think. She never felt like Mary Jane, especially how she's trying to act socially awkward. She was a completely different character. They shouldn't have even said they call us MJ. I thought that was so much. My friends call me MJ. I thought that was so weak, I thought, in the first movie. But yeah, that's another example of, yeah, if you don't like that, I totally understand. I'm not the kind of person like other idiots out there who are just going to call you sexist if you say, I don't want a black person playing this white role, or I don't want a white person playing this black role. I'm not that kind of person. But they sure are. They'll even say stuff like, if you if you don't want a black person playing a white role, that's fine. But if they don't want a white person playing a black role, somehow to them that's justified. But what you said is not. It's like, it's hypocrisy, is what it is. So I just ignore it, guys. I just do. I just don't listen to them. Glicked guy says, hey Eric, I am Jess's girlfriend. She told me about this channel, lol. You're Jess's girlfriend? That doesn't sound right, because Jess is a he, not a she. Jess sent me a picture and looked like a he. The Crazy Gamer 1 says, favorite movie of all time and least favorite movie of all time. My favorite movie of all time is The Dark Knight, as it has been since 2008. My least favorite movie, I'm sure there's worse, but I never liked Cars. I had a miserable experience in the theater watching that with my dad, so that's why for me that is like my first worst movie. Yeah, Joey, I will be doing a trailer reaction to Sonic, but it will be for Patreon members and YouTube members. So you're going to have to get onto that if you want to see the reaction, and we'll have a talk about it and everything. And I'm hoping the trailer is darker. Hello, no-nos. No-nos. I meant no with an S right there. But no-no sounds kind of funny. I didn't mean that, but that's what, how it came out. Hi, thanks for joining the stream. I don't think you've ever been on the stream before. When did you become a subscriber to my channel? I'll be very curious to know. And if this is your first live stream, welcome. David Flynn says, I remember you mentioned it in your old Q&A video. By the way, I've been watching your channel for 6 years. Oh, wow, cool. Do you remember what your first video was that you saw? And by the way, guys, if you want to donate to get this... Oh, hang on, where's my settings here? If you want to have me to review Edward Scissorhands, I will, if this bar goes all the way to the end. As always. Ah, the series of unfortunate events. Which one? Was it the Versus video of a series of unfortunate events? I have not seen Moana 2, Gregory. I can't give a score on that. Oh, it was that one, David Flynn. That's nice. Thank you very much for watching the Versus video. That was my first Versus video that I made. Elite says, I'm ashamed to have The Last of Us Part 2 after that happened, and then I quietly stopped playing the game. Yeah, I knew that was happening before the game came out, and I was intending to buy the game for full price on day one, which I never do normally. But I did it in that case. Well, I was going to do it in that case. But then when the leaks came out, I was like, forget it. Especially when you find out how they did what they did. Lee says... Excuse me, I got a sore throat. Lee says, hi Eric, been watching you since your Witches Versus video. It was a great analysis. Oh, thank you very much. That was a hard video to make, and I'm glad you really enjoyed it. Means a lot. Brandon Tran says, will you play Arkham Shadow after its successful reviews? Unless I am somehow given it as a Christmas present, the VR device, only then I will. Otherwise, I won't. It's too expensive a device for me just to get that one game, if you know what I mean. So I would say no, personally. Movie Fan says, Eric, I've been watching you since the Civil War vs. Infinity War video. Oh, thanks. That's a long time ago as well. You guys have been with me for a while. Thanks. It means a lot. It really does. Oh, take care, Fireboy. It was great seeing you. Hopefully see you in the next stream. Oh, Marcus, you've been watching me since 2019. Wow, 5 years then this has been. My most unnecessary death in movie history. What do I think? I think it was Dewey, because the way they killed him off was dumb. Also Joel, the way they killed him off was done. Also, John Connor in Terminator Dark Fate, and also Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, and Han Solo in The Force Awakens. It was just ridiculous how they died. It really was. It was really ridiculous. Those were the most ridiculous deaths then, I would say. Where is it? I agree, Big Bash. I hate when that happens too. Oh, Khan says, I've been with you since your first It Versus video. That was also a long time ago. Wow, you guys have been sticking around for a very long time. Yeah, Gregory, I can't give my score on that because it would devalue my my content for YouTube members and patrons who will also gain access to that. So I can't tell you that, buddy. I'm sorry. That is gonna... I'll probably tell you in the future, a while later in the future, but not now. That's only for YouTube members and patrons who will also gain access to that video. Where is it? I'm gonna upload that video to Patreon very soon, so maybe then you can see. Because I know you are a patron. I don't know which tier you're on, but you will see it. I'll get it. It's a long video, but I'll get it and I'll put it up on Patreon, and then you can watch it as well. Good times. That's €5, right? Let me write that down. Okay, good times. Thank you for the super chat. Good times says, upgrading super chats to 5 now. Not sure what to say here. What are your thoughts on the new Sonic 3 posters and song that released yesterday? They've got new Sonic 3 posters that released yesterday. I think I might know it. One of you sent it to me. I think it might have been Jess, who said it looked like the Last Jedi poster. Let's see here. Oh, damn, I just gobbled that up. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's a very basic poster. It's pretty... It looks like they followed us a template for sure. So I think it's okay. That poster. It's not a great one. I think they had better ones I saw earlier. Gregory, I know you're a patron, but there's people here that are not, and I can't give it away because, like I said, it'll devalue it for everyone else. So just wait. I will put it up on Patreon, and then you can watch it there. But I have to keep that a mystery, otherwise it'll be devaluing the thing for the patrons and the YouTube members. Movie fan says, Eric, did you know that today is Toy Story 2's 25th anniversary? 25th anniversary. Oh. Again, not only does that make me feel old, but I have vivid memories of my dad taking me to see that in the cinema as a kid. I remember the cover, the poster for that movie that we had on video when I was very little. I was 5 when I saw Toy Story. 4 or 5. That was how long ago it was. Now I'm approaching 30 next year. They also make live action Lilo and Stitch, says Crazy Cat Lady. Gregory, of course you can ask. Everyone's asking their questions, so, you know, ask it. And again, as a reminder to everyone, if you want that bar to get full, you can't do super chats. It has to be Streamlabs chats, which I've pinned in the chat, and I've got in the description as well. That's the way you get that bar to go across. Manola says, Eric, are you going to see Moana 2? I saw the first one in theaters years ago with my dad, so it holds a special place in my heart. I was a big Disney princess fan when I was a little girl. I will be seeing Moana 2. That's why I'm trying to get all these videos done before Moana 2 comes out, so I can focus all my energy onto that. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of work lately, and the movie's coming out in a few days now, so yeah. Move on 2002. Eric, what is your favourite action scene from the DCEU? I would say it's in Aquaman. There's so many great action sequences in Aquaman. I would say the action sequence in the middle of the movie when they're running from Black Manta. And I love the whole entire climax battle in Aquaman. I thought that was phenomenal. Lee Dilly says, what do you think of the Star Wars prequel, specifically Revenge of the Sith? The first 2 prequels, there's stuff I like about them, but I don't think they're bad movies, but they've got a lot of bad stuff in them, particularly the second one. The romance in the second movie is the stuff I was the least interested in, even as a kid when I saw it in theaters. I do like, though, the third movie, and the Clone... I liked it on its own already, but the Clone Wars really expanded on it and made it even better as a film. So I would say I love all these Star Wars movies. Not the Disney ones, but yeah, I did love those prequel ones too for their own different reasons. I like the first 2, I don't love them. The third one I do love. I love the third one. It gets like an 8 out of 10 from me every single time. When I was a kid, it got like a 10, but now that I'm older, it's got like an 8. But I do love the third movie. Moana, with regards to Connor, with regards to Moana, I'm not going to tell you because I've said this to Gregory earlier as well, and to one of the others that asked. I can't tell you what it is, my thoughts on that movie, because it will devalue people who have, subscribed for my Patreon or my YouTube memberships to actually see that watch along. So it would actually devalue it if I told you what my thoughts were. So it's meant to be only for patrons or YouTube members. I'm gonna upload it onto Patreon very soon, and then you can check it out there as well. Yeah. Jess says Harley Quinn is better as a feminist and member of the Suicide Squad when she helps out the team and saves the world instead of a love interest who wants to be with Joker, which is stupid. Do you agree? No, I don't agree at all with that. To me, Harley is the best when she's with the Joker and when they've got a twisted relationship and are both wreaking havoc on Gotham and they're messing around to like screw with Batman. That's the best. When they try to make her a hero, I don't like her. Straight up, I just don't. I think that's where I lose interest, and I'm like, yeah, all right, Harley, you continue doing your missions. I'm gonna just bow out of that. It's why I don't like to watch that Harley Quinn show personally. I don't like Harley as a hero. I like when she's a villain with Joker. Movie Fan 2002 says, Eric, what do you think is the funniest moment in the Clone Wars? There's so many funny moments. There's one point where Anakin says to Obi-Wan has this someone who was a love interest of his when he was a Padawan, and he meets her, and the Separatists all come in and invade, and Obi-Wan and Anakin are going up an elevator, and then when the elevator doors open, Anakin is like, I'll do da-da-da-da-da, you save your girlfriend, and then Anakin runs, and then Obi-Wan's like, right, Anakin, she is not my... And then he just runs away. He goes the opposite direction. That was hilarious, that was. There was one point where there were these alien invasion of the body snatcher type aliens that went up people's nose and mind controlled them. Obi-Wan picks one up because he's interested, he wants to study it, and then Anakin's like, watch out, he grabs it, throws it on the floor and stomps on it, and then Obi-Wan's like, Anakin, I wanted to study that, and then Anakin says, study the bottom of my boot, let's go. It was hilarious. And then there's even another one with the droids, the battle droids, the Raja ones. There's one point where the clone troopers throw a bomb at them and it falls on the floor, and one of them picks it up, and another Raja droid comes by, looks at it, and the big one goes, one of the droids goes, I think it's a bomb, and then the other one says, how can you tell? Then it blows up right in front of them. They were so hilarious, they were, in that show. There's so many funny moments in the Clone Wars, but it gets so freaking dark as well. Oh, that is like peak Star Wars to me, it really is. The G Gamer says, what's the next video going to be? I'm curious. My next video is going to be a video talking about Marvel and if they lied to us with something they released recently. That video, I literally finished it just before the stream. So that will keep you, kind of like give you something whilst I'm working on the Puss in Boots versus video, which will hopefully be next. And then I'll work on the Moana versus video. And then we've got the Sonic versus video. And then, we'll have all this stuff. So there's plenty of stuff and content coming. So stay tuned. And please do share these videos. I want to see what happens for people that share these videos, if they can get more reach, So if you can, I'd really appreciate if you guys could share these videos when I put them out. You already give them thumbs ups, and thumbs ups always really help. Comments really help. And sharing them, I really want to see how much people we can, spread these videos to if they're shared on social media and stuff. So I'd really appreciate if you guys could help me out with that to gain more reach. Trevor says, how would you rank the Star Wars movies? Well, I'm going to keep the Disney ones out because they will just be at the very bottom of the pile. So let's see. I would say 5, 3, 6, 4, 1, 2. The Dark Claw says, I enjoyed when Obi-Wan was having sass against Maul in Season 4, like saying, like your new legs, make you look taller, make you look tall. And when he said this other one was hilarious, when he goes, when I cut you in half, I should have aimed for your neck. Yeah, I remember that, when he goes, any last words, Kenobi? And then he goes, when I aimed for your neck, he goes, when I cut you in half, I should have aimed for your neck. Like, that was funny. I remember that was very funny. Deadwolf says, Eric, what's your thoughts on the Angry Video Game Nerd? He reviews crappy games. I've seen him, like, years ago. He was hilarious. I don't think he's got it as much now that he's older and that he's a dad. He just doesn't seem as I don't know. He feels like he's got lost that edge. That he looks older now, so it seems like you can't buy the fact that he's this little baby anymore as much as you could when he was younger doing the AVGN. But it's still fun. I like his older videos better than his newer ones. I've not seen his newer ones as often because they just don't seem as well paced, I think. The G Gamer says, yeah, I was always wondering about that Puss in Boots versus because I remember it all the way back in March or April. Yeah, took a while. Yeah, I don't know why. It was just trickier to do that versus video. Even now, I'm working on it. But there's I've done the voiceover for the story, the characters, the conclusion. Now I've just got to do the action and villain segment. The villain segment is practically done, so I can start recording that like any time now. But the action segment I've still got to write. There's a lot of that I've still got to write. But the action, there's not too much to say about the action in both films, I think. So that should be a quicker segment. Big Bash, Eric, what are your current thoughts on the Nostalgia Critic? He's not as funny anymore. He stopped being funny years ago with the NC. Occasionally he'll come out with a good joke, but it feels like he's not really playing the character anymore as much as he's playing himself. And his jokes don't make you laugh anymore. So I and many people have stopped watching him. He used to get millions of views, but now he's getting significantly less. So I think a lot of people have kind of like, zoned out on his videos now. I enjoy more when he's doing individual reviews rather than his Nostalgia Critic reviews. Supersonic says, Eric, are you excited for the Sonic 3 trailer? Yes, I am. I'm looking very forward to it. Gregory says, nah, he's very funny. Yeah, he was, and that's why I'll still, even to this day, I still watch his older videos, but not really his newer ones. Although I haven't seen his recent commercials one. Gregory says, can you answer my question? Yeah, sure, Gregory. I've been looking for your question. I've not seen it. Brandon says, do you watch Star Wars Theory on his breakdowns of Star Wars content? Sometimes, but not often. Like, it's rare when I do. It's up there. Gregory says it's up there. Where is your question? Where? Okay, here. I think they are here. What scores would you give Sonic 2, The Last Jedi, Coco, Tarzan, Indiana Jones 1 to 3, and Last Jedi? You said Last Jedi twice. I like all these movies. Sonic 2, I need to see it again, and I will see it again when the third movie comes out, because I can't remember the score I gave it, or I would give it. So I can't answer you on that one. You're going to have to wait for the verses. And that's right around the corner, so I don't have to wait long. Coke, Last Jedi, I'll give that a 1 now. Seriously, that movie has just gotten worse and worse as the years have gone by, and it left nothing for the third movie. As a middle chapter to a 3-part story, it failed miserably, and it left nothing for the third film. That's why the third film was struggling so much, and largely why it disappointed so many, because the second movie didn't do nothing to prop it up. So the second movie, I think, failed on many levels, and that was one of them. Coco, I give that a 10. Dude, I watched that movie not expecting much from it. I thought it was just a nice looking Disney movie that would look nice on my new projector, which I got at the time. Watched it, absolutely loved it. I need to see that movie again, and I was having to hold back tears watching it, which I did not expect. Phenomenal movie, phenomenal film. Indiana Jones 1 to 3. 1, I can't remember what I gave it. I've not seen the Jones movies a lot in my time, really. I can't give it the scores, really, guys. I don't really know. Second movie, I think I gave a high 7. First one, I think I gave an 8. I think the third one I gave a 9. I love the third one the best. Let's see. And The Last Jedi... No, The Last Jedi I've already answered. Yeah, so I like all those movies like you do as well, except for The Last Jedi. Sonic 2, I can't remember my score, but I did like it. I can't remember, though, if I liked it as much as the first one. It's surprising how I've forgotten so much about it. Oh, yeah, Tarzan. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Tarzan gets a 10 as well. Love the movie. It's a classic one from my childhood. Coco is an absolute masterpiece from Pixar. I absolutely love that movie too, says Joshman. Yeah, me too. George Washington says, hello, Eric, I'm back. Well, so long as it's just you, George Washington. Good Time says, I'm going to cry my eyes out on Sonic 3. Been following it for years. Grew up with it. Yeah, that'll be... You only cry your eyes out if they take it to that dark place that it needs to go. Let's hope they do, and they don't make it safe. Khan says, hey, Eric, whatever happened to John Lasseter? They tried to Me Too him and get him out. From what I hear, though, It's not as black and white as they try to make it look. There's more to it. They just wanted him out, from what I hear. There's a story that I read that talked about, like, insiders telling the story anonymously, and they said that the studio wanted to get him out and they wanted to replace him, and there was a big diversity push after Trump got elected, and that's where they tried to get rid of John Lasseter, the white guy, and they tried to put a diverse person in his place, and all the white workers that were there were like Disney veterans. They were being mistreated like crazy, from what I heard in this article. And then they ended up leaving, which is why we ended up with Wish, a movie that's animation looks so terrible because they drove all the original veterans of Disney out and were giving them grunt work, and they were demoting them just because they were like, yeah, we're trying to bring more diversity here. And yeah, they by doing that, you can see how Disney struggled and like screwed up in the animation department, both in Disney and Pixar. And then it ended up with Wish, which was like the worst thing. So yeah, it shows what happened down there. King Alex, it's great to see you here, buddy. Have you been on the stream before? Have you changed your name, or is this your first time on the stream? Let me know, because I love to know how all you guys normally got started on my channel. Elite says, hey, my name is on the screen. Yeah, did you not see your name there, Elite? You became a YouTube member before the stream started. So yeah, I put YouTube members there as well. So if anyone becomes a YouTube member, your name will be permanently engraved in a live stream. I don't see that. What do you mean, Elite? You don't see that? I haven't heard of Smosh Gary Loke. Big Bash, I don't know if he was innocent the whole time. I think he was. I think I heard that from what I read in the article that he was affectionate towards certain people, like, you know, he would give them hugs and like maybe like a peck on the cheek. And they said that, yeah, it was probably not the best thing to do, but it's something that they feel like if he was told, he would have rectified it. But no one told him. Instead, they just tried to use that against him, and it said that, yeah, he did this, and everyone just tried to get him out that way. And if any worker tried to even mention him, it would be like instant firing or something. Like they tried to make sure that no one said his name. So yeah. Oh, you didn't see it at first, Elite. Yeah, it's there. It's been there the whole stream, like at the beginning and now, even now. Daniel Flynn says, I just have one more question. Well, go right ahead. Trevor says, has your rating on Infinity War or Endgame changed? Not really. I don't know about Endgame. I'll have to think about it. But Infinity War, no, I think it's pretty much the same. Raymond says, hey Eric, gotta bounce. Like you said, catch you next time. Take care. Well, take care. Right back at you, buddy. Thanks for joining the stream. John Lennon says, Eric, do you like my music? I'm sorry, I listen to composers. I don't really listen to singers. Superman says, Eric, please respond. You are rude as heck. Have you commented before? I've not seen Superman on my chat. If I did, I would have noticed. There's so many comments here, buddy. This is why I say, if you want to get your message noticed, then do it through a Streamlabs chat or a super chat. Or if you become a YouTube member, your name is permanently highlighted green, so I will always see your name. So that's why I always say, Sarah is a Superman who said that I was rude, apparently. But dude, that's why I always say, Streamlabs chat or super chat if I'm not getting your questions, because there's so many. Or become a YouTube member, and then your name will be highlighted green all the time. I'll always see it then. That's why when Elite is commenting, I'm always seeing his comments, because they're highlighted green. The same with anyone else that is a YouTube member. Like G-Gamer, for example. Oh, Spirit, you're on a road trip. Cool. And remember, guys, this is the last day for that Edward Scissorhands review. So if you want to get the review, we're not far off. We're more than halfway across. If that bar goes all the way to the end, done. You got yourself an Edward Scissorhands review in the next couple of days. Endgame is one of my favourite experiences that I had in the theatre, says Elite. Cool. One of my favourite experiences in the cinema was watching Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Me and my mum went, and it was just a fantastic audience. There was just... The theatre was packed, full, and I was like, oh no, they're going to make noise, aren't they? No one did. There was a very angelic kind of like feeling to the whole cinema. It was like everyone was very respectful of the experience, very respectful of each other. When people laughed, they didn't laugh loud. It was like a silent rumble, little tremor in the auditorium. It was so nice. That was my best cinema experience. Khan says, Eric, how close are we getting the three-way versus video, How to Train Your Dragons? We're not close on that yet, because it might look like we are when you go to Patreon. You'll see I've got like over 100 members, or is it 200 members? But that's because a lot of people are... Patreon have pushed out a new feature which lets you... It basically lets you subscribe or be notified whenever I put a post out, but you're not a paying member. So basically, they get updates when I put a new post out, but they're not paying, basically, and they can't see the post, but they get updated and notified when I put a new post out. So basically, we're still at about like 55 members, like actual members, so we need 45 more, basically. So yeah, if everyone right here just did the $1 donation on Patreon, then we'd be so much closer. And they would also get trailer reactions and their names in the credits of my Versus videos. Like, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the G-Gamer, Universal are very picky. In fact, they've been copyright claiming some of my older videos that have been Versus videos of their films and stuff, and just reviews of their films. They are very picky. That's why I said once we reach a certain goal on Patreon, that's when I'll do it, because I'm not going to be monetizing the video. Yet I'll be putting all that work into it. So that's why I said, you know, I want that Patreon goal to happen, so then I can just do it without monetizing the video. Daniel Flynn says, what do you think of Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman after watching the Snyder Cut? They don't get better to me, honestly. They really don't. If anything, I think the Zack Snyder's Justice League works great as a standalone movie. When you combine it with the others, it just doesn't... They seem too different from each other, honestly. So, yeah. Movie fan, the raft scene in the Temple of Doom was crazy. That's the best way I'll put it. Big Bash says, I want Shadow to be able to curse mildly in Sonic 3. Yeah, if he says damn, that would be cool. Damn can sound quite badass without, you know, going crazy. Oh my god, if he says something like that. Saeed, my day is going good so far. How about yours? The Logman says, especially from Keanu Reeves. Yeah, especially from him, it would especially sound good. Gary Loke says, how would you rate the Terminator movies? Hard to say. I've not seen the first one in a while, or the other ones, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy Gamer says, did you like Young Sheldon? Yes, I did. I love Young Sheldon. I still watch it while having tea, like little tea, like, you know, tea and, if I have tea in the day, I like to watch stuff like Young Sheldon. I've been watching Georgie and Mandy recently. Just yesterday, I watched the most recent episode. It was emotional. It was quite sad. It's cool how they do that. Spirit Hero says, Eric, have you heard of The Rock comparing his Red One Christmas movie to Oppenheimer? Yes, I have. His ego knows no bounds, doesn't it? Sarah says, Eric, I know we're quite demanding, but please don't overwork yourself. You need time for yourself. We can always be patient, no pressure. I know you guys can. Thing is, here's the thing though, sometimes you can be a bit pressuring. I've never said this to you guys normally, but it is a bit of a, like, when you finish and complete a video, right, it takes you a long time. You guys know how long it takes me, and I have extreme attention to detail. Like, I care about my edits. I finally get the video up, and then right when I get the video up, people say, what's your next video? And it's like, dudes, I just finished this one. I know what my next one is, but I want to feel accomplished with this one first. But already it's like people are waiting for the next one. That normally can make you feel a little bit pressured. Like, you know, wasn't this one enough, or aren't you gonna enjoy this one first? You know. But yeah, I'm also trying to make my channel a bigger success. I really want to gain it and, you know, get more viewership and stuff. That's why I always say share the videos, because that can also really help. So I'm always trying to get more videos out too. So yeah. Because there is a deadline to how long I'm going to plan on doing this. And if it's not working out, I'm going to have to, you know, do something else. And then YouTube will take more of a backseat in my life. But I want to do this full time, so that's why I'm really hoping this takes off. That's why your donations, that's why your patronage, your YouTube memberships, sharing these videos, all of that really does help, you know, in helping me make this like a living. And then I can do this continuously for you guys. But like I said, when it comes to your donations and patronage and, you know, that kind of support, I always want to give something in return, which is why you can see that even though there's a goal down there, I want to still give you something in return. So, yeah. Con, I think 2 months is a long time. I don't know if the YouTube algorithm would like that, so I'm trying to be more consistent. Elite says, are you going to review Craven when it comes out like Venom 3? I'll try, yeah. I'm going to definitely try on that one. Eric, I think that creepy toothless picture worked as trolling has decreased, said Big Bash. I don't think it's decreased. Trust me, I've still got that in my back pocket. Anytime I want to punish you guys slightly, I'll whip that out, that picture. Good Time says they recently started filming Fast 11. Do you think they'll go a bit more serious with this one? Like put some effort in the story so it's different from previous movies? I'm surprised they just started filming it. You'd think they would have filmed it a long time ago. I mean, that's a piss take, that is. That's such a long time for not only for us to get the movie, but it's also a long time just for us to... you know, now that they're starting shooting, we have to wait yonks for the movie to come out, like 2026, probably. That's a long time. When did the last one come out? What year was that? Was it 2023? Just last year. Feels like it came out like 3 years ago at this point. Long time ago it feels like. Okay, then that's more reasonable. It still feels too long. Maybe it's because it's a two-parter. Maybe that's why it feels longer, because they gave us a two-parter. Watching Godzilla vs. Kong now, and when our connection fell, and it happened right now when Godzilla destroyed a building by falling on it after Kong hit him on the head with the axe. Are you talking about the first Godzilla vs. Kong or the second one? Charlton says 2023 was the year of cliffhangers. It sure was. So many part 1s of 2s going on there. I was in hell. What did I miss? Damn, sorry to hear that, buddy. Hope everything's better now. Hope you're out of hell now. You missed the 3 stories, buddy. We're in the Q&A now, is what we are at. Kevin has done a $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Kevin. Why didn't the main god from Joker 2 get any payoff? Yeah, he didn't, did he? He was abusing Arthur left and right, and then they did that thing they did, and yeah, you didn't hear anything else about it. That was a shame. That was irritating that they didn't really do anything with that. Joker didn't kill any of them. Even the one that said to him, sign my can you sign my book? And then what he says, that it'll be worth so much when they fry him. And then when he writes that other note, I thought eventually he was going to come after him and kill him, but yeah, nothing. That movie disappointed everyone. The Crazy Gamer says, Eric, you're such a good YouTuber and inspired me to make my channel. Oh, that means a lot, Crazy Gamer. Thank you. Sarah says, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. It's 11 where I am, so I'm gonna go to sleep. Love you all. Great to see you again, Eric. I love to see you. Oh, let me do that again. Love you all. Great to see you again, Eric. Even if it wasn't for long. Remember, no pressure. Bye and sleep well. Thank you very much, Sarah. I really appreciate the kind words. And again, thank you for your donations last week when you did those. That was very appreciative. So thank you very much, Sarah. Sleep well and take care. Hi, City of Ember. Great to see you. City of Ember says, did you see Disney's making an Ice Age 6? Yeah, we talked about that in last week's live stream that they're doing that. Joshman, Eric, can you answer my question? It's a question about Ridley Scott. Are you a fan of Ridley Scott movies? Not really. He's got some good ones, but he's also got a lot of bad ones. I still remember watching Robin Hood in the cinema back in the time. The Batman or Across the Spider-Verse? The Batman. Love Across Spider-Verse, but Batman. City of Ember, hey Eric, what is your thoughts on the Batman Arkham VR game? I've not played the Arkham VR game. I don't, have it. So, yeah. Spirit Hero says, I heard Moana 2 has gotten bad reviews. Really? Are they dropping reviews for it already? I don't think they would be doing that. And early reactions always do nothing but positive reviews. Early reactions. Positive reaction from critics, they call it a worthy sequel. I'm just going to wait for when the movie comes closer to being released. You should never trust these early reactions. Remember what they were saying about Joker 2? And the first Suicide Squad movie and all that. Alright, Gregory says, hey guys, is Eric that nice? I like being nice, but it's very weird that Hero was racist. Plus, he's the most hated guy in Thing. So you know he's no shame. Not close with his royal family, more honestly. Gregory, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. Hey guys, is Eric that nice? I'm confused. City of Ember, how are you doing, Eric? I was doing good, then Gregory left that message and now I'm confused. I don't know what it means. Joshman, no, I did not like Ridley Scott's version of Robin Hood when I saw it in the theatre back in the time. Trevor Bistro says, Eric is one of the honest and nicest movie critics on YouTube. Movie fan says, Eric is nice. He has some opinions on films that I don't agree with all the time, but that's fine. Everyone has their own opinions. And that is why I love my audience. Right there. Harshly Critical says, hey Eric, gotta go. I have to be up early for work tomorrow. No problem, buddy. Thank you for joining the stream as long as you did. Take care. The G Gamer says, what is the most divisive video you made? Like, as in, you agree or disagreed, or like... What is the most divisive video you made? Like, as in, you agree or disagreed, or like or not like something, and people were divisive in the comments, if you know what I mean. I know what you mean. It was my Justice League versus Avengers video, the original Justice League. I gave a very glowing review to Justice League, and I gave a good review to Avengers, but it wasn't as good. And it's bizarre. I don't love the first Avengers. You guys all know that. I loved Infinity War and Endgame, but I did not love the first Avengers. It was fine to me. The very definition of fine. And yeah, I don't know what is up with all of us critics, but you can watch all the reviews for the original Justice League that released all those years ago. And a lot of us were very positive towards it, which is bizarre, because looking back, it's weird. Even when I look back at my own review, it's weird. I don't stand by that review anymore, and I've made that clear before. But yeah, that was the one that was the most controversial. And as soon as the dislikes mounted up a bit more than the likes, that's when the viewership on that video stopped. I haven't checked since if it's gotten more. At the time I remember I was like, oh, that's bizarre. My KKI says, hi Eric, you missed Community. What do you mean? Fan says, I gotta get going too. I have to help my family get ready for Thanksgiving. No problem, buddy. Take care and enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving and enjoy your Thanksgiving. Okay, guys, 15 more minutes and then we're gonna end the stream. Good Time says, how did you feel about showing your face on the channel back in the day? I'm trying to do YouTube as well and would like to get some guidance in that respect. I was, yeah, at the time, my family didn't want me to show my face on screen because it was a new thing to show on YouTube videos your own face. A lot of people were doing it, but a lot of people were not doing it as well, believe it or not, back in those days. And my family, they didn't want me to do it, but then when I got older at a certain age, I told them I'm going to want to show my face, and they were like, yeah, that's fine, at a certain point when I got older. And then I've been showing my face, and I've been showing my face ever since, so yeah, it's all fine now. It really just depends on, it's up to you about your comfort level, but for a long time I did not show my face, and I was just doing voiceover videos and things, so yeah. Gregory says it was satire for a famously incoherent post on Reddit. I'm making fun of it using a copy and paste. I realized how weird it was, lol. Like, yeah, it was weird, it was bizarre. I thought someone had hijacked your account for a second there, because it doesn't seem like you normally don't talk like that, Gregory. It was weird. Ever own a dog, Eric? No, I have eczema, so no animals next to me. You know, it's not good for my skin. Sourcefear says, hey Eric, did you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? I was gonna say that to you. Excuse me. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? I know the reference, by the way. That's why I was saying it the way Batman said it after the other one said it. Big Bat says, Eric, how do your family feel about doing YouTube? They are fully in support of it. You know, they know that I like doing it, and they let me do it, you know. What I mean, they let me do it. They're happy when they see me doing what I enjoy. And I have goals for YouTube, and I'm always hoping to grow my channel. So I'm hoping to make it a career. That's my goal, and it's very hard to do that. But that's why I say, I've said this earlier, I says your patronage, your YouTube members, your donations, they all really help and go a long way towards accomplishing that goal. So yeah. When you're seeing Transformers 1, I will be seeing it, and it will be on YouTube memberships. So that's why I said, you're going to want to become a YouTube member. You're not going to want to miss these watch-alongs that we do. You'll be watching the movie with me for the first time. I've still not seen it, and I will be seeing it with you guys when I do. Marcus says, Eric, is Godzilla King of the Monsters movie on the top of your MonsterVerse movies list from best to worst? Yes, it is on top of my list. My mother said, Good Time says, my mother said the same thing about showing yourself on YouTube. I'm going to keep it faceless for privacy reasons. Just saying this here to get it off my chest. Yeah, that's no problem. You and me have both been there. And look at me now. I'm showing my face every week on these live streams. So, you know, keep it going. And eventually you will show your face. But there's a lot you can do without showing your face as well. You've seen my videos as a prime example of that. Yeah, Big Bash, my siblings do work. I used to work as well before doing YouTube, but I really do enjoy it, and I want to try to make it a full-time thing. The dog closes, I'm heading out. Things to do, need to eat. See you all next time. No problem, buddy. Take care. It was great seeing you. Hey, Eric, what DreamWorks movies do you think DreamWorks will remake? Maybe Prince of Egypt? Prince of Egypt. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Only time will tell. Big Bash, your siblings says, do your siblings go to college? No, they don't. They're beyond that age now, I think. I hope you passed 100,000 subs, says G-Gamer. Here's hoping. DreamWorks will remake Shark Tale, says Gregory. Imagine if we get a cut of the first Sonic film with the ugly look. Yeah, imagine. That would look... It just looks so boring, that design. Good Time says, your videos have inspired me to do it faceless and make it look good. Voiceover is the best option. Yeah, I do prefer voiceover. In videos, when you show your face, it makes editing a bit easier because it means you have less visuals to edit, and they can take a while to edit, and sometimes when it's with movies, it can be tricky to bypass the copyright system. So that's why I do my face sometimes, because it makes it easier. Scripted videos do take longer to edit, depending how sophisticated your editing is, and I try to make them sophisticated as I do. Eric, the opening of Peacemaker was very funny, and I loved it. Yeah, Jess, I found it funny too. The G-Gamer says, is there a movie that you enjoy watching even though you know it's bad? I'm sure there is, yeah. Which one? Ghost Rider, the first Ghost Rider. I do enjoy that movie. It's a guilty pleasure for me. Which is why I thought I would really enjoy the second movie, but then the second movie was so bad, even to someone like me who enjoyed how bad the first one was. So yeah, I was like, how could you get that bad that even I couldn't like it? Joshman says, Eric, I was asking you a question about Edward Scissorhands. Have you seen it? Yes, I have seen it. Years and years ago when I was younger. This is basically a review. So if we get through Streamlabs, if the donations get to £130 to the goal, then I will, in the next couple of days, drop a review of Edward Scissorhands, basically. That's the little thing here. Side says, on TikTok and Insta, there are a lot of voiceover accounts that are successful. Cool. What's the limit, the video length limit on a TikTok, by the way? Stephen King's Maximus Overdrive was so bad, but so good and can't help to be entertained by it. Yeah, but I know that kind of feeling with a movie. I don't have it very often, but I'm aware of that sentiment that goes around with films like that. 10 minutes is the limit for TikTok, says Big Bash. Okay, pretty sure it's 10 minutes. Okay. Cool. You guys can follow me on TikTok, by the way. I'm on TikTok. There's links in the description where you can find me there, and on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram. Gregory says, what would you say if I told you Last Jedi is good to me? I know you like The Last Jedi, and if you like it, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you enjoy it. I just couldn't. I really couldn't get into it. Big Bash says, I love how Die Hard is considered a Christmas movie. Yeah, you and me both. Have you tried Fortnite on your off time, says Elite. I played it I played it years ago at my friend's house. I didn't even know where to go to find all the action. I wasn't really fond of it, personally. I Hate Anime says, now that the year is nearly over, what are some movies that could make your top 5 best movies list? I'm not going to spoil that, buddy. I'm sorry, I don't spoil that stuff. Also, there are some movies I still need to see, so as we get closer to the end of the year, which we are already getting close to, I'm going to be doing a full-on movie marathon, watching good movies, bad movies. I'm just going to be watching movies all day and deciding which one goes on my list. Jess says, I will just stick with YouTube and not other social media apps. That's fine, but the reason I like people to know of at least my social networks is because if anything, God forbid, if anything does happen to the channel and you guys want to know what's going on, that's where I'll be updating you. So it's always good to know where I am alternatively, not just on YouTube, just in case. Big Bash says, Eric, how do you feel about making videos over an hour long? I've not done it often, but they just take too much time to work on. So I would prefer not to. I can't work in that kind of time. It's just too much editing to do. It'll take so long to upload the video. My longest video, I think it is my Series of Unfortunate Events Season 3 binge watch, isn't it? That video took, you all know how long that took me. So long, on and off and everything. Yes, Smile 2 is a messed up movie. Nate the Great says, what's your next video? My next video is going to be a video on Marvel. I think they're lying to us based on something they did recently. So I'm going to upload that literally before this stream. I was finishing up editing like the final touches on it. All I've got to do now is put the end card there where I say thanks for watching, subscribe, and give the video a like and a share and all that stuff. I've just got to add that to it, then it's done. The video is done though. And that will be going up very soon. I got the thumbnail, I think, pretty much done as well. I made the thumbnail before I actually wrote the video, essentially. So, yeah. Big Bash says, Eric, when will that Marvel video come out? Probably tomorrow. I'll try to get it out tomorrow. So, very quick. Elite says, are you going to upload the Marvel video after the stream? No, because it's late. I don't think I can record the outro. I could do it quietly like I did with my recent video, my Joker video. I recorded that outro at night, so I could potentially do it here as well. We'll see. But it is late. I need the bathroom, which I'm going to be... I can't believe I just admitted that to you, but I really guess I really do. When you gotta go, you gotta go, in the words of Jeff Goldblum. And yeah, I do have to go, so I'm going to be doing that as soon as the stream is over. And then I'm going to just chill a bit, make a cup of tea or something, and then just maybe watch some Young Sheldon, or just something warm, something that you don't have to focus on too much, but makes you feel nice. And then I'm going to plan my next day of work tomorrow and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be planning, essentially. And the video, I'll have to, of course, I have to complete the final thumbnail. Then I'll put it up, and I've got to do the description and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I've still got to do, basically. Eric, what are your siblings' favourite videos from your channel? I don't know what their favourite videos are. Some of them watch, one of them, he watches all of them. I don't know if he stopped keeping track or not, but he used to watch all of them. The others, they watch them here and there, but not a lot every single time. My parents used to watch them every single time, but I think then it came to a point where I was just uploading a lot, and then they missed out on some, and there's a lot to catch up on. It's many years I've been doing this. So yeah, if I have a big viral video, then normally they'll watch that, which is cool. But yeah, I think my dad watched the Smile and Venom review that I did recently, so that was that. What else? Yeah, I don't think they have any favorites or anything like that. I have never asked them. They probably do, I just never asked them. Gregor says, Eric, I promise I won't join these streams for a while, but can you answer my question? I did answer it earlier. What's your another question? Force Awakens sucks, not just because Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker ruined it. It was always bad as a standalone. I know you used to like it as a standalone, but not anymore, right? Yeah, not anymore, I don't. I could understand why people didn't like it, though, as well, because it was a repeat of A New Hope. I didn't mind that for a first time. I was like, this is the one time you can repeat it, but not the next time. And then The Last Jedi, they copied in The Last Jedi, they copied The Return of the Jedi. So they were still copying it. There was a lot of crap they were copying. And then Rise of Skywalker copied Avengers Endgame. It was pathetic. So much copying nonsense and all that stuff. It was unoriginal, that new sequel trilogy. So yeah, yeah, I don't like The Force Awakens anymore because it didn't build up to anything. It had a lot of potential with the stuff that it was setting up, but then Rian Johnson didn't follow through with any of it. Elite says that Echo review was a cool video, and it made me laugh how bad that final episode was. Oh yeah, the Let's Binge Watch video of Echo. Yeah. They copied Empire Strikes Back, and Rise of Shitwalker copied Return of the Jedi. And it copied Avengers Endgame when he goes, there's more of us, Poe. There's more of us. It's like, that was the on your left scene, essentially. Big Bash says, Eric, who do you think will replace Kevin Conroy as Batman's new voice actor? Maybe the guy that did him in Batman Arkham Origins. That sounded close to Kevin Conroy, like a younger version, if that's what they wanted to go with. Didn't sound like him, but at the same time, you could convince yourself that it was. He has a good voice for Batman, I think. Okay, 2.5 more minutes, guys. So if you got any questions, Streamlabs questions, Super Chat questions, or if you want to have your name at the bottom of this list like Elite, then, become a patron. Then you have to become a patron member or a YouTube member, and I'll put it there. But whatever, basically, last 2 minutes, basically, make it count. What's your favorite Batman Arkham game and why? Says Grimace. My favorite Batman Arkham game is Arkham City. Why? Because I thought it had the great story, greatest gameplay, and I just liked the pacing of the game. I really do. And it was just so refined what was great in the first game and more. A true sequel. I'm surprised in 2 years after the first game they made a true sequel. And not only that, but it was like an open world and everything. Blew me away. Charlton says, the only exception I think people should give The Force Awakens is Han Solo's death, because I've heard people say it's copying Obi-Wan's death, even though Harrison Ford wanted it to happen for so long. You can still judge The Force Awakens for that, because then they should have made Luke and Leia and Han all reunite before killing him off. But instead they didn't. They didn't even let Luke meet him after all these years. That is a wasted opportunity, like one of the biggest that Marvel and Disney... Sorry, not Marvel, that Disney will never live down. That's a permanent shit stain on them that will never get cleaned. So yeah, and also, who cares if Harrison Ford said to kill his character? He gets paid for doing this, and he came up for Rise of Skywalker. He gets paid for doing this, and he gets paid a shit ton. All he had to do was just be in a couple of movies, and if he has a problem with that, honestly, why are you even an actor anymore? Like, I'm disgusted with Harrison Ford if that's what he says. It's like, if you don't want to be in it, then just say you don't want to be in it. But that was just ridiculous. It doesn't matter. The actor does not get to make that kind of choice. I don't care if you are Harrison Ford. And why does Harrison Ford get to make that choice that he wants to die, but Mark Hamill doesn't get to make the choice that he wants to live? If he can't make that choice, then Harrison Ford can't make that choice. Harrison Ford doesn't really care about the fans and Star Wars either. Mark Hamill does. And yet they still didn't listen to him, but they listened to him. It's just... it's pathetic. Piss poor management down there. So I think there is no... I see what you mean, Charleston. But I actually do disagree with that point. Why do they have to listen to Harrison Ford? It makes no sense. Elite says Disney has a record of ruining franchises. They do. Trevor says, probably a weird question, but do you have a favourite food? I like too much food. There's not a specific one. It depends what mood you're in. But I like chicken, basically. But I also like fish. It depends. Burgers, too. Like, see, that's what I mean. It's like you keep switching between whichever one you feel like in the moment. So I don't really know how best to, kind of answer that. Okay, everyone. That is basically it. The Time Shadow. I just realized he did not come to the stream. Normally, I always see his name right about the end because he always tries to find ways of keeping me on. And he'll say, no, someone, donate, or someone keep Eric on. I just realized I didn't see that this time. So yeah, he didn't join in on this stream. That's a shame. Hopefully we'll see him next time. Eric, do you have a favorite Disney princess, says Manola. Oh, that's a hard question. Mulan. She was a badass. She was really cool. Wow. Big Batter. I never had a burger before in my 18 years of life so far. Whoa, bro. You really are missing out. Burgers are one of the great foods out there. Was the thumbnail inspired by 3C Films? Who? Is 71. Are you a new subscriber? I've never seen your name on this chat before. If you look at... no, my thumbnail... if you go back to the first live stream I did, I went through different iterations of the thumbnail, and I eventually settled on the one that I've used. I make changes of my own, and I don't know. I don't know if it has reflected someone else's, but yeah, if it happens, cool. But no, I haven't seen. I also never had a tacos and burritos before, said Big Bash. Well, tacos and burritos I've never had either, so we're both on the same boat in that one. Burritos to me just sound way too busy. They sound way too busy to me, burritos. Like, there's too much stuff. I'm like, no, keep it simple. You don't need to put all that rice in that wrap. So that's why I haven't. Chicken tenders are my favourite. Yep, chicken tenders are great. I've been subscribed for maybe a few months, says Is71. Oh, cool. What video did you watch that made you subscribe to me? I'm curious. And is this your first live stream too? Elite, I think that name sounds somewhat familiar. I think I might have watched a video, but no, I don't watch that person religiously or anything, because it sounds like a very old name. Is71 says, I think it was the John Wick or the Shazam ones, one of those. John Wick or Shazam? Was that the versus videos I did a while back, like Shazam 1 versus Shazam 2? Or John Wick, did I do a video on John Wick 4? Is that what you were talking about? I Hate Anime says, my first video I watched from you was the Godzilla vs. Kong versus video. Nate says, the first video I ever watched on your channel is the Lion King versus video. Is71 said, yeah, the comparison ones. Oh, cool. Well, Is71, next time I do a video, comment on it. And when you do, I'll give you a heart. I'll give you a heart on your comment if you comment on my next video that I upload. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you on that next video, and I promise you I will give you a heart. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you for joining this live stream. It seems like it's your first live stream you've joined. Always love having new members join the stream. So thank you very much, and I'll see you on that next video, hopefully. For the rest of you, thank you very much. As always, I love all of you. You all know that I love all of you, and I'm Grateful for the donations that you've given me as well, so thank you. If you want to become a YouTube member like Elite here, then go ahead and do so. Supports the channel, really does support me. You'll get great content coming from it. And, of course, if you want to be a patron, there's also that as well. And your name will be put at the bottom here as well if you become a patron or a YouTube member. If you want to do any donations at any time, just know it always does help the channel. So you can do that whenever you want. And if you do it through Streamlabs, that will go all the way across. And I will have a look at this one final time next week just to see if it met, if the bar crossed all the way over to the other end. And if it did, then I'll do the review. So thank you very much, everyone. I love all of you so much. And I'll catch all of you very soon in the next live stream. I'll catch all of you very soon in the next live stream. Take care.